This is the third gate of Kammasaka Zen, known as the Forest Well. This is the final talk in the third gate, Dharma Talk 8, and it's called the interconnection. It's interconnection of the third gate of Kammasaka Zen, the Forest Well, and interconnection with the third ox-herding picture, seeing the ox, and also how it also impacts and connects in the first step of the Eightfold Path, right understanding, and also how it interconnects with the koan, the Dharma incomparably profound and infinitely subtle is rarely encountered. This is how it all comes, this whole gate comes together. The Zen tradition often invites us to explore these teachings through imagery, metaphor and paradox. And within the framework of the third gate, known as the Forest Well, it calls practitioners to look deeply into the natural world and also into their inner being. And this resonates profoundly with the third picture of the ox-herding series, Seeing the Ox, which signifies the first glimpse of true self, which is hidden behind the illusion of the self. And it's interwoven with these is the koan, the Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is rarely encountered. And this emphasizes the rarity and subtlety of awakening. And it's together these elements converge on the Buddha's first steps of the first Eightfold Path, known as right understanding. These teachings, interconnected, they illuminate the relationship between insight, the seeker, or the seeker's journey, and the profound principle of understanding in Buddhism. And it's in Kammasaka Zen, the Forest Well symbolises a place of stillness and reflection, where clarity can be found beneath the surface of life's ceaseless flow. The well is surrounded by the natural chaos of the forest, representing the clutter and the distractions of daily existence. Yet its waters are untouched by this chaos, mirroring the untainted nature of the Dharma itself. And in drawing water from this well, it is an act of effort. It's an act of intention. And this is paralleling the inward journey towards understanding. So the Forest Well teaches us to see reality clearly. One must descend beyond the surface appearance and engage in direct experience. And this resonates with the principle of right understanding, which begins with a correct view of reality. For Buddhists, this involves seeing the world as it truly is, impermanent, anicca, unsatisfactory, dukkha, and lacking independent self, anatta. Similarly, when a practitioner approaches the forest well, they do not merely gaze at it, but to engage with it within its depths. And this is symbolizing a shift from intellectual curiosity into experiential insight. So the forest well acts as a metaphor for the Dharma itself, yet it is profound, hidden, and yet always present, waiting for the seeker to approach with openness and effort. But the well is not obvious. The well is not obvious in the chaos of the forest. Just the Dharma is not immediately apparent amidst the noise of human life. And this parallels the insight of the koan, which emphasizes the rarity and the subtlety of encountering the Dharma. And it challenges us to look beyond the surface of understanding. The third ox herding picture, seeing the ox, represents the practitioner's first real experience of the truth. It follows the stage of searching, where the practitioner has begun to seek the ox, symbolizing the nature of true self and reality. But the seeker has yet to find it. And it's in this moment the seeker catches a glimpse of the ox, the tail or the hoof, an incomplete yet profoundly transformative vision. This stage corresponds to the transition from ignorance to a budding understanding. In Buddhist terms, it reflects initial sight into the Four Noble Truths, recognizing suffering, understanding its cause, glimpsing the possibility of cessation, and sensing the path towards liberation. This moment of seeing is not a full awakening, but it is an essential step towards it. And akin to right understanding in the Eightfold Path. Right understanding, the beginning of having right understanding. So Zen practitioners often describe this stage as one of humility. To see the ox is to recognize how much remains unseen. And this humility is essential for having right understanding, which does not cling to fixed views, but remains open to further exploration and also to refinement. So, just as the ox is only partially visible, the practitioner's insight is partial and must be deepened through continued practice. This stage also embodies the interconnectedness of the teachings. But seeing the ox requires effort. This paralleling the descent into the forest well. Both symbolize the transition from seeking externally to looking inward, where the truth begins to reveal itself. The ox and the well, like the Dharma, are not found by chance, but through dedicated practice and openness to what is rare and profound. So this koan encapsulates the elusive and transformative nature of truth. This koan challenges the practitioner to reflect on the difficulty of perceiving the Dharma amidst all the distractions and all the delusions of ordinary life. So it's not a statement to be intellectually solved, but a lived reality to be experienced. And this, excuse me, and this koan aligns with right understanding by emphasizing the importance of discernment and mindfulness. Understanding the Dharma requires a practitioner to see beyond superficial appearances and to penetrate the depths of reality. This depth is not something one can grasp through reason alone. It requires a profound shift in perspective, often catalyzed by moments of insight like those depicted in the ox-herding pictures. The rarity of encountering the Dharma also highlights the importance of gratitude and reverence. Complete reverence. To have access to the teachings, whether it be through text, teachers, or even personal insight. It is rare and is a precious opportunity. So right understanding begins with recognition and a commitment to approaching the Dharma with the respect that it simply deserves. This sense of rarity mirrors the forest wells, the forest well's hidden nature, and the fleeting glimpse of the ox, underscoring the preciousness of these moments of clarity. And then right understanding is the foundation of the Eightfold Noble Path because it sets the direction for the subsequent steps. Without a correct view of reality, one's efforts, one's intentions, and one's practice may simply be misguided. So right understanding involves both conceptual knowledge and direct insight, beginning with an intellectual grasp of the Four Noble Truths. And this can deepen through experiential realization. The Buddha taught that ignorance is the root cause of suffering. Right understanding begins to dispel this ignorance by revealing the nature of existence as it is. It's not merely a philosophical exercise, but a lived experience that transforms how one relates to the world. And it's in this sense, it aligns with the journey depicted in the ox-herding pictures and the practice of descending into the forest well. It all interconnects. And then furthermore, right understanding is not static. Like the practitioner who glimpses the ox or draws the water, knowledge, from the well, one must continue to refine and deepen their understanding. It's an interactive process and reflects the Zen emphasis on continual practice and the recognition that even profound insights are simply but steps on an endless path. The forest well, the ox, the koan, and right understanding are not isolated teachings, but interconnected elements of the same journey. Each emphasize different aspects of the path, while pointing in the same direction, pointing to the same ultimate truth, the nature of reality and the way to liberation. The forest well teaches the importance of going beyond surface appearances and engaging directly with the Dharma. And this aligns with the initial step of right understanding, which requires seeing beyond the illusions of permanence, beyond the illusion of satisfaction, beyond the illusion of selfhood. The ox herding picture, seeing the ox, illustrates the transformative moment when this understanding begins to take root, while the koan reminds us of the rarity and subtlety of such moments. So together these teachings encourage us as practitioners to approach the path with humility, approach the path with effort, and approach the path with reverence. So having this right understanding is not a destination, but a beginning, a glimpse of the truth that sets the direction for a lifetime of practice. It is the lens through which the other steps of the Eightfold Path become clear. Much like the ox's tail leads to the whole ox, and the well's waters of knowledge sustain the seeker on the journey. The journey towards right understanding is a dynamic and multifaceted process. And through the imagery of the forest well, the partial vision of the ox, and the wisdom of the koan, Kammasaka Zen invites you as a practitioner to explore the depths of your own experience and engage directly with the profound truths of the Dharma. And as I said before, these teachings remind us that the path is not a linear progression, but an ongoing dance between insight and practice, and each deepening and informing the other. As the Buddha's first step on the Eightfold Path, right understanding lays the groundwork for all of life's, for the life of mindfulness, for a life of ethical conduct, a life of liberation. It also it begins with a glimpse, a rare and subtle moment of clarity, and it unfolds through continual effort. and also regular reflection. In this way, the teachings of Kammasaka Zen and the ox-herding picture illuminates timeless wisdom of the Buddhas, offering a living understanding that resonates across traditions and across the ages. Thank you for joining me on the journey of this third gate. Look forward to seeing you on the next gate.